Listen carefully.
In this last video, we will be finishing up our critters. So we'll be looking at different ways that you can add beads and embroidery to embellish your critter. Let's get going. The only thing we have left to do at this point would be whiskers. And eyeballs and a nose. So here's something that's interesting. A lot of kids may be super excited and want to give it a giant nose, which is going to make it fall over. But if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I think for my kitty, I am going to pick maybe a pink nose. I don't know if I want that pink nose. We're going to go with a hot pink nose. Oh wait, here's a smaller hot pink nose. We're going with the smaller hot pink nose. And eyeballs, I have some dark purple and some perfectly matchy purple. I'm going with the perfectly matchy purple. So for the nose, that's gonna help you sew the whiskers. So I am going to get a long piece of thread and I'm not going to knot it just yet. I am going to thread it, I think, I hope. Okay, so I'm going to figure out where I want that nose to be. Which is right here for me. I'm going to put that through and leave a whole lot. So you've got a good deal of thread on either side. And then I'm going to put the bead on the needle. And I'm going to pull that through a little bit. And then I'm going to go back in where I first found that, where I first went in. And I'm going to pull the thread both directions. And now my little nose is on there. But remember, I haven't done any knots yet. So I'm going to go through one more time. Come back through to the other side. Pull this, make sure we've got everything fine. And then I'm going to tie a knot here on the side of the nose. Oops, I caught his toes. And then I'm going to decide, this is a pretty good whisker. I like this, but how far do I want it to go? So now he has one whisker. But now I have this long thing, which is also a whisker, but it's a whisker without a knot. So I'm going to go back. This is why we left this so crazy long. And I'm going to thread this side. And I'm going to sew a knot here. And then decide how long I want that whisker to be. So he may be happy with just 2 whiskers. He may want 4 or 6. I'm a big fan of a 6 whisker cat. So I'm going to take my next thread and I'm going to tie a big knot and leave a long tail after that knot. So I have this big knot with all this extra. I'm going to thread the other end. And this is a really good way to make like crazy hair. Like if you have a dragon that requires ear hair, this is a very good way to handle that. So I'm going to start out here, and I'm going to go all the way through to the other side, and my knot is going to stop. And I'm going to tie a knot on this side. So now I've got 2 more whiskers. He's getting a little whisker crazy. So next we have eyeballs. And I'm using these little purple dudes. And we're going to sew them on the same way that we did the nose. Except I am going to use a knot at the end this time, because the extra is not going to be whiskers. And I'm going to try and get this knot as close to the end of the thread as possible. So I'm going to cut that little bit off. I'm going to decide, so a lot of kids are thinking, oh cool, they're pupils. But that's not how that's going to work, because the thread needs to go through the hole. So you put your needle in where you want your eyeball to be. You pull it through, and then you place the bead on the thread and pull it down. And you're going to go through, for eyeballs, I suggest 3 passes. So you're going through the bead and through the head and through the bead and through the head. So I have 3 threads going through the eyeball there. And now I'm going to kind of wiggle that around, see if that's how I want it to be. And then I'm going to knot here. You can repeat that process again, which I think a lot of kids would be fine with, or you can go in and come out where you want your other eyeball to be. Thread your bead, and again, stitch it 3 times. His whisker's getting in there. So now I've gone through twice. Trying not to catch that eyeball. It really wants to catch that eyeball. My 3rd time. Gonna go through. And I'm gonna tie that final knot. I'm gonna pop that through, pull it a little tight, weasel things around where I want them to go. And there I have my striped sitting cat.